The moments that define our life are often unexpected. They are often twists we didn't see coming. They are delightful surprises. They are happy accidents. We call these moments moments of serendipity. What is serendipity? Serendipity is when you look for something and you find something else, and you realize that what you found is more conducive to your needs than what you thought you were looking for. They are cognitive surprises. They are moments of unexpected relevance. You connect the dots in a new way. You see the gestalt. You see the big picture. You are decoupled from the banality of the everyday, and all of a sudden the world becomes enchanted. Now, most people dismiss these serendipitous or synchronistic encounters as things you cannot predict nor control, things you cannot plan for. So you dismiss them. You maybe pray that you have them again. But what if we could deconstruct what makes serendipity work? By studying neuroscience, by learning how our mind processes reality, we could pretty much empower ourselves to generate serendipitous moments in our lives that would allow us to, to move beyond the fatalistic misperception that we are disempowered, and instead come to realize that, my God, we can turn our lives into a living work of art. Okay, so Eric Davis wrote an article about Burning Man, that gathering of minds, that sacred and profane celebration of debauchery, awe, reverence, wonder, and inquiry. It's said that it gathers some of the most creative minds in the world, where they express themselves in some of the most creative ways in the world. And the hallmark of Burning Man is what Eric Davis calls the cult of juxtapose. So juxtaposition. Juxtaposition means the seemingly random encounter of unrelated items, ideas, or memes and people. So in Burning Man, you might have like some 1920s weird black and white movie theater next to some like giant caterpillar smoking a hookah, next to like a statue of a naked woman, next to like some weird like I don't know, like a dragon throwing flowers next to like a weird communist office replica. Like, the idea is that the most seemingly random and unrelated constructs, a supermarket of memes, or a multiplicity of pocket universes, as Eric Davis calls it, creates an encounter, an opportunity for you to connect the dots in a new way and experience that evanescent lightning bolt of meaning in the perceiver's mind. Eric Davis says that is the aha moment, the unexpected relevance, the synchronicity and serendipity. So again, the key idea is that juxtaposition, okay, the arrangement of seemingly unrelated thoughts, ideas, memes, or constructs. Juxtaposition. Surrealists used to use juxtaposition. Juxtaposition is the formal operating space of serendipity. So through curatorial selection and discernment, you can arrange, prearrange, mash up, and assemblage your life, your company, the people and places you put yourself in and you surround yourself with. You can prearrange and mesh up. The idea is you could practice this juxtaposition of seemingly unrelated ideas to create gatherings and create ecosystems where serendipity can be born. So in the desire to monetize creativity, to create companies that are more innovative and design office spaces that will make employees be more clever, I mean, remember, my friends, we understand how this works. We could also then incorporate psychocybernetics into the equation. Psychocybernetics is a way to prime your brain to connect the dots and look for patterns for things that will serve you. The comedian George Carlin once said, if you want to understand psychocybernetics, realize that your brain is a goal-seeking mechanism and you can prime it to look for certain goals out in the world, right? Because the world is full of magic things patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper. Or as Stephen Johnson says, the world is full of clues and you can read your way through it. So how do you prime your brain? How do you exploit psychocybernetics to make yourself attain and see the patterns where seemingly others don't see anything? So first come up with an idea. The original idea is, oh, I want to start a company that's going to change the world. Or, oh, I want to design a virtual reality construct that gives people the astronaut overview. That's the idea. That's the first impression. Prime your brain. First impression. Then write that idea down on your notepad, on your phone. Just write it down. The act of putting it into words, okay, now it's gone from here to here. That's the second impression. The third impression is later on that night, review your notes. Review your ideas. So first you conjured it up, then you wrote it down, then you read it later. 3 impressions, you've primed your brain. Your brain now has that pattern. It's looking at the world with a meta pattern, a lens in front of it. There's a world, but then in front of it there's a lens that says my idea of what I want to do. In this case, the VR construct that gives people the astronaut overview effect. So, by cultivating juxtaposition in your life and assemblages and putting things together and mashing them up in interesting ways and contexts and people, and then programming and priming your brain with using psychocybernetics to seek out certain patterns in the world that will serve your goals, now you have primed your brain, mind, and environment for a huge spike in creativity, pattern recognition, associational thinking, unexpected connection between seemingly unrelated ideas. You've made yourself, you catapulted yourself into almost like a visionary state. You are now primed for inspiration, for transformation, for serendipity, for synchronicity. So we have the power to weave worlds into existence. We have the power to be as shamans. We are ecstatic technicians of the sacred. We can tweak our brains, minds, and spaces to make ourselves more creatives. We are empowered. We are empowered. And so take that away. If you take one thing away from this video, we can make ourselves more creative. We can create magical moments in our lives. And we can be co-authors of the mystery. We can submit, trust, and have faith that the universe has a plan, but we can also be co-authors in manifesting that plan for ourselves. This is not magical thinking. This is not woo-woo. This is deconstructing what makes moments magical and adding fuel to that fire. And that is how you cultivate serendipity.